Welcome back to another episode of the Will Hill Show. Today I got one of my newer, I guess we could say we're friends, we're associates. We know each other's name. Kyle Allen.
It's okay. You can say token white guy. It's cool.
No, the last race we had was a white guy.
Oh, damn. Now I can't take that title. Man.
You tried. No, yeah. Both of their name are Kyle.
How many white dudes are named Kyle?
I don't know.
Too many, man. I answered that for you. Too many, man.
Kyle, tell the people who you are.
All right. I'm Kyle Allen. Aside from being acquainted with Will, I've also been doing stand-up comedy for 5 years, which has brought about many accomplishments, such as running an open mic in Bolingbrook and somehow not killing myself.
So how'd you get started in comedy?
So the usual depression.
Because I got depression. No.
But if you want to go real deep with that, so I've talked about this before in my act, but I actually did go to music school for a little while, Chicago College of Performing Arts, part of Roosevelt University up in the Loop.
Okay.
Studied for jazz, and I'll be clear, I wasn't like a real huge jazz head. It's just I want to play guitar. And I thought that, you can make a career just playing guitar. Nothing else. No, not like teaching. No, just playing guitar.
Right. Like, I know how to play. Oh, here's some money.
So, yeah. Was doing music school for a while. Then a couple of buddies of mine, we were trying to get into writing, and they were trying to do like this review show, so to speak. Similar to shows like Nostalgia Critic, stuff like that. Shows that people don't watch anymore.
Right.
But got into writing, even went so far as to write a screenplay, like a full 90-page screenplay. That didn't go anywhere.
You never know.
Don't get too impressed. It didn't go anywhere. It's somewhere in my drawer.
You can always blow the dust off that thing.
As long as it isn't covered in mold, that's all that matters. It's been
even
there for
still, you can use it as a point of reference.
I can use that as a bragging point. It's like, hey, I read a screenplay book and I put it to use. But yeah, once I found out that shit wasn't going to work out, then I started doing stand-up comedy. And yeah, we're here right now.
Do you remember your first time going up? What was like your first joke? What was like the moment you was like, okay, this is the joke. It's going to work. This is my first joke.
Okay, so I can tell you in detail how my first set went, but I can't exactly remember the first joke. But here was how that shit went down. So, started in 2015. First set was over at Riddle's Comedy Club, and also I think that's where you got started too, right?
Yeah, that's why I met you. He was a DJ.
DJ is that's giving me a bolder title than it should be. I just play songs off Spotify. That's all.
No, because like my first time going up, you didn't even go up that time.
Yeah.
So I mean, just off for that, I'm like, okay, he's just a DJ. But then, like, the next time I came, you went on stage, and I was like, oh, he does both. Oh, I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, like, it was a nice surprise.
Yeah, I would say that's a good way to put a nice surprise. But anyway, I went to Riddle's Comedy Club. Prior to starting there, I went there just to watch, just to see how it was, what to expect, who was funny, like how exactly they were getting laughs. The people who sucked, how exactly they were sucking, what not to do, so on and so forth.
Of course.
So, for my first set, I just didn't really know what to write for my first 5-minute set, but I decided that, it would be a good allegory for my first time doing stand-up. I was going to do a 5-minute set about masturbation.
Oh, the whole set.
Because I was a fan of Louis C.K., and that wasn't going to bite me in the ass anytime soon. So I managed to write 5 minutes of masturbation jokes. And I put jokes in very, very loose quotations here. Like the jankiest of quotations possible here. Because basically my jokes at times like, hey, masturbation, am I right? Wasn't like that, but you get the point. It was hacky. There was no structure to it because I didn't know there was structure. Most people who are doing comedy for the first time don't know there's such thing as structure.
Right.
However, though, I wasn't just satisfied with doing 5 minutes of cheap masturbation jokes. I decided to throw in a Hitler joke in there, too, in the middle. Because, that's still relevant. That well hasn't been dried up anytime soon.
Never.
So, go up, do my sets. Somehow did not bomb, which is miraculous. I don't know if the adrenaline was making my performance interesting, or maybe the couple that was laughing thought that this was my Make-A-Wish and that they just felt bad for me.
Say, laugh for the kid. He's dying soon.
He has a beard, but he still has cancer. But, so I do my set, and then the host at the time, very classy guy, goes up and says, bro, you did 5 minutes about masturbation and Hitler jokes. You are the stereotype of a first-timer. And, there's really not much to say beyond that. He was right. That was basically a stereotypical first-timer set. But you know what? I say this to people who want to start doing comedy. It's like the first time that you start doing it don't mean shit. It's just a hurdle. It's just an obstacle. Like, people get like so hung up on that. Like, I see dudes who want to do this, but every time like I see them come around just to watch the show, it's like, why don't you do it, man? Why don't you go up? It's like, oh no, not ready. No, fuck that, man. Just go up, man. Because that first time doesn't determine what type of comic you're going to be, man.
Right.
The years that you put into the game determine the type of comic you're going to be. The first time, it don't mean shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't expect to learn to start swimming until you actually hop in the pool.
Exactly. You can't do it on land.
I mean, you could. You just look fucking ridiculous. No, if you want to do like butterfly strokes, like walking around the block and all that.
Just practicing breaststroke, just walking around. Look like you're peacocking.
That'd be interesting.
I was telling Curtis on the way here, you had got me with the same music twice, like back to back. What's that song? Jump.
Oh, Crisscross?
Yeah, Crisscross. You got me Crisscross back to back. And like, I mean, I just roll with the punches. And I mean, of course, I'm still new, so like I had like what I wanted to say in my head. But I'm like, hey, you playing Crisscross and expect me to jump? Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Like, and then like right after that, you go, yeah, I'm playing that for you next week too. I'm like,
oh yeah. If I know that you react to it, whether in a positive or negative way, I'll probably keep playing. I mean, why do you think I still play Uptown Girl for Alan Ford? Or okay, so you guys may not get this joke because you guys haven't been around back then, but every now and then for Ike Moore, I'll play The Twist by Chubby Checker. And that's because going back to a running joke that we had ever since, I used to run this open mic in Palos Heights called Mr. Moe's, and my co-producer said that Ike looked like Chubby Checker. So we would play The Twist.
I can see it. I get it.
Yeah, that joke kind of persisted.
You know who's one of my favorites from Riddles, man, is Mo Butter.
Mo Butter.
Mo Butter is something else. Like
he's good people. He really is, man.
Great person, but he's hilarious in his own right. You know what I'm saying?
He's just a very interesting dude. Like every week he shows up wearing a traffic vest, like a bright orange traffic vest, and this big ass backpack, and he looking like he's Rambo trying to reconnect with his Vietnam buddies, looking for a job.
He had a flashback, and he's just, I got everything. I am ready for Nam.
He's about to get, holed up by police for vagrancy.
Before we started recording, we was talking about our buddy Daryl, and
yeah, I remember Daryl.
Went up there in the trench coat, and it was just hilarious. Like, first off, Daryl's an actor. Daryl, if you're watching this, you're an actor. By all means, keep doing comedy. Mm-hmm. But it was hilarious. 'Cause, like, the moment he started talking, like, since I know him, I'm like, all right, he's acting. Right off the bat, he's going to act. And then we had to play him on stage, right?
I believe I had to cut his mic.
Oh, I had to cut the mic?
Yeah, cut the mic because he ran the light by. Okay, so really.
So hold on, wait. For people who don't know, when you go to open mic, you get what? 4 to 5 minutes.
5 minutes maximum, 4 minutes if there's
a lot of people.
Which we haven't had that in a while. But that's a different thing altogether.
Right. So you get 5 minutes. You get 5 minutes to get on stage, practice your sets, or if it's your first time, get up there, see how I feel, whatever. You got 5 minutes to talk whatever you want into the mic. And my homie Daryl gets up there and just, you say he was damn near at the 9-minute mark. Like,
yeah.
So usually you get on stage, they give you the light for a minute, right? Mm-hmm. You get the one light saying there's 1 minute left, so you kind of know where you at, and then they give you another light, usually like a double light, right? That it's time to get off. If
you're really stretched it, we will give you the strobe light.
Light.
And that's basically saying, look, we were nice before, man. Come on, dude.
And then once you progress past that, it goes to the DJ playing you off, like turning the music up gradually.
And I don't like doing it because, sometimes there are dudes who can get pretty heated by that, man.
Yeah, and then I guess all else fails, cut the mic.
Yeah.
Daryl got to cut the mic. It was still talking. Like,
yeah, he just couldn't get the hit. I mean, I'll give him gusto that he has the drive. He's got a lot to say. He prepared for this moment.
Yeah, no, it was, and then like what he was saying was like a bunch of random stuff. It kind of reminded me of like Donald Glover when he did. Like, it was just a bunch of random stuff kind of mashed together. Right. I mean, it works. It was funny. We all was laughing, but it was something to behold. But then, like I would never say someone's a bad comic because comedy has such a huge range. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and also too, it's like at comedy open mics, like it's just a breeding ground. Like you can't really. It's like taking a bite of an undercooked muffin and said, this tastes like shit. No, it just hasn't been cooked long enough.
Yeah, okay.
And that's the thing with open mic comics. Like, it's really just a gym for us to get better. It's like, it's kind of pointless to judge an open mic comic, especially someone who's only been doing it for like a few months, because they're still learning. They're still developing and all that. It takes a while to learn how to walk, for instance.
Yeah, most definitely. But basically what I was getting at is, I would never call somebody like a bad comic because what I find funny, you might not find funny, and vice versa. So would I be like, oh, that's terrible? Somebody could be laughing their ass off thinking it's got. So I'll never be like someone's a bad comic. Mm-hmm. But then you get people, what was his name? Alexander, right? That was,
normally I would refrain from naming names of people.
No, we'll bleep it out. We won't.
Oh, no. We'll mention because I don't like this motherfucker.
Oh, okay, fuck it. Leave it in.
I don't think he'll listen. I don't think he'll listen to it. I don't give a fuck. He knows what he did.
Right. So
his name was Alexander the Decent. Yeah, that's a hell of a name for a
Is that what he wrote
comic.
on the sheet?
That's what he wrote on the sheet, man.
Alexander the Decent. Yeah. So I've only seen him do it twice. That was it? He only did it the 2 times?
Well, the infamous set in question that we're going to be talking about, that was the second time going up.
The second time.
And from the very moment I met the dude, I learned something about him that I think is pretty important to note, that I picked up that I didn't like this dude.
Right off the bat. No, 100%.
Right.
I didn't know who he was because I missed the week before when he had his first time on stage.
Yeah.
I was there for the second time. And this is it was hilarious. Not in a good way. Like,
right.
it was watching a train wreck. It was just like, oh my God.
Now,
okay, so you was there, so go ahead.
So going back to the first time I did it, right off the bat, the bar didn't really care for him because he really was against trying to buy drinks because, of course, like Riddles has a 2-drink minimum, which is pretty common for comedy clubs, especially the open mics. Because
so the people who don't know,
yeah,
most open mics, the way the club or the venue makes money is having a 2-drink minimum. Right. That means to be there, either to participate, to be on stage, or to enjoy the comedy, you have to buy a minimum of 2 drinks.
Because the truth of the matter is, there's no money to be made in open mics.
No.
You got to justify the club for opening up the lights and, like, opening their doors and wasting energy. So, yeah, there's got to be some compensation on their end, too. So that's why there's the 2-drink minimum. It is what it is.
Right.
So Alexander didn't like paying the 2-drink minimum. It was a bit of an issue. He also left his bowl on the table when he left, so that was interesting. However, his first set was typical, like first time open micer, not great. Just kind of did some rambling. But you know what? It's like
Get the first mic jitters
if he
out.
just like focused on like refining himself, we would be talking a lot more positively. That didn't happen though. Instead, the second time, I remember this very vividly. I remember I was talking to the host, Phil Landrio, and we were at the bar just chit-chatting away. And then this dude just runs up to us like excited and giddy as all hell and says, "Dude, tonight I'm going to be saying the N-word." Except for he didn't say it in the politically correct way that I just phrased it. No,
Nah.
he went full hard R in this case.
So just to interrupt, so I was sitting there waiting for the night to start.
Yeah.
I think at the time, at that exact moment, I think I was the only black person there. And he came up and sat next to me. He goes, "What's going on, man?" I'm Alex. "Oh, what's up, bro?" You know what I'm saying? And he goes, "Hey, man, comedy's all about speech and, about being free, whatever." And I'm like, yeah. Then he referenced the George Carlin, the 7
He
things
was
not
trying
say.
to do a version of the 7 dirty words.
7 dirty words.
Yeah.
And so like he's sitting there talking to me about it. He goes, "Man, you think it'd be okay if I just drop the N-bomb?" And I'm like, no, that's not okay. Don't do that. He was like, "Oh man, some people cool with it. Yeah, I'm not one of them. Don't. You know what I'm saying?" Like he was like, "Man, it's cool though. It's cool. No, I don't care how many times you say it's cool. It's not. No, this is what I said. This is not what I said in my head. This is what I said to him. No, that's not cool. Don't do that.
Right.
I don't think you should do that." It's like, no, it's cool, man. It's cool. No, it's not. Like, don't. Because just if you have to ask me if it's okay to say it, then you shouldn't.
Yeah, I think that's a good rule of
Then
thumb.
you shouldn't be saying just don't. You know what I'm saying? Because that
Right.
means you obviously you're finna say something offensive that would probably make me want to whoop your ass. So like, then just don't. So
Yeah.
I'm like, just don't.
And so I told Phil, it's like, dude, we gotta do something about this. Either like, don't put him up, or put him up at the very end and hope that most of us leave before his set. Phil went with the second option. Okay. The problem is, Alexander thought that he was a fucking genius for his hot take and went around telling every motherfucker in the parking lot who was smoking a cigarette that he was going to be dropping the N-word on stage.
He did.
So, of course, everyone kind of stuck around and watched just to see what happened. Maybe prepared to whip his ass a little bit, too. Honestly, I wouldn't blame him.
Yeah, because Brandon King was there.
Yeah, Casey.
Casey was there.
Yeah, from
Casey
Indiana.
got up and left.
Oh, yeah, Casey was uncomfortable, man. Well, and the thing, too, was how I put this eloquently is like, he kind of wussed out on saying it, too.
Yeah, he prepped you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you, instead of just saying it like he wanted to, he led up to it. And he was like, yeah, I'm a boo. And then, so you had a little bit of a cushion. You knew it was coming, so it didn't hit as hard. It was.
Well, he said it like away from the mic too, but the thing too is like he was talking about like is a 7 dirty words, but it's going to be about racial slurs. But then how he sets up is like, yeah, I got a new version of 7 dirty words. They have words like asshole and N-word, and where's the other 5?
Yeah, he had like 3 words. like what? Like no, you just like you could tell that's all he wanted to say. He just wanted to say the N-word, and it was so funny. And like, I guess the reason I laughed so hard about it is because he really meant for it to be offensive. And then he had his fiance there on Facebook Live in his set. And it's like, so you're doing this to offend people. That's it. That's all.
Oh yeah.
Nah, I mean, yeah, he was dying for it, but that's not how you do things. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's that one comic from Seinfeld?
Oh, Michael Richardson.
Yeah. And he called hell for saying it, but it was different. You know what I'm saying? He was already somebody, the way you said it. So that's what he was looking for, to be offensive. And like, I'm sitting like fairly close to him. He's on Facebook telling everybody, yeah, I did it. And he wanted to say, call people, gay and use the race, the slur for that. And not really. I kind of want to fight him. I mean, to be honest, you know what I'm saying? Don't you know how like people say something that offends you and just kind of laugh it off? And just kind of laugh yourself calm. That's what I had to do. Because I'm like, if I be any close to this guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, that word comes with consequence. And it's funny because I was talking to my coworker, one of my new coworkers the other day, and about the N-word. And he, just being, I guess, inquisitive, he was like, so how come I can't say it? I'm like, because I said you can't. And then he was like, he said, words never hurt nobody. I say that word and you will. Like, this would be the first time words have hurt. Try me.
So here's the way I look at things. Don't worry, I'm not going to go into like alt-right propaganda, but like when but when white people say, how come I can't say it? It's like, dude, you guys had 200 years where you could say it, man.
Right,
dude,
I was saying
give it a break, man.
Say it at home, just not in front of me. How about that? Like, that's it. That's all. It's to each his own. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so, like, the way I see it, if I wouldn't want you saying it in front of me, I didn't say it. Obviously, I've been saying the N-word this whole time. Do I say it on a regular? Yeah, I say it. Yeah. But out of respect, I'm not going to sit here and just keep dropping it and then don't want you to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's not how I operate. But
well, especially like in the way that he was using the context. Like
it was hard R.
It was hard R, and it wasn't really in the form of a good joke. Like it wasn't justified.
No.
It was just simply done for shock and shock alone. And look, like I implement some form of shock. I do dark humor, but the thing is, like, it's gotta be worth it. It's gotta be funny. It's gotta have some ounce of cleverness to it. You can't just simply like intend to shock people because you're just a shitty edgelord.
Right. That was it.
For one thing, that doesn't make you funny. That just makes you a fucking dick.
You know, one of my favorite things he did though, if y'all remember when we was kids, you had the little drumsticks. It was air drums, so you can like kind of. He had one of those. I think on the last time he was there. And instead of, he wanted to do a mic drop so bad, he took this toy out of his back pocket and dropped it right for his mic drop. And typically when you mic drop, it's over. He picked the toy up and continued to talk. Oh my God.
Right. I think at that point I turned the lights on and turned the music up on him.
I'm like, wait, how you mic drop and then continue to go?
Yeah, you really like completely undid the whole motivation for doing a mic drop.
Right. It was so funny. It was terribly hilarious.
I'll correct you on one thing, though. Yes, he did do that mic drop, the fake prop mic, but that wasn't his last time. He went up there 3 times. And the third time, I don't know if you were around for this one, he wanted people to roast him while he was on stage. Not telling any jokes, just wanted people, like, basically heckle at him from the crowd, giving him insults.
What are you trying to do? Crowd work? Like,
I guess if he knew what that meant. So that sounds all fun and good and all that, except for this dude was the worst person to roast, because instead of, having people roast you and you take it and we laugh at it, he's like one of those dudes, like, for example, is like, hey, man, you're fat. He's like, hey, man, I'm not that fat, man. I'm pretty skinny and all that. See, he'll try to rebuke the roast. He'll try to debate. It's like, no, dude, that's not terrible. How roast works, man. What? You're not supposed to debate the roast. You're supposed to take it, man.
Just laugh at it. Like,
right.
When people do that, I feel bad for roasting them. When you know what I'm saying? If I'm roasting you and you're trying to make it not as bad, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, dude. Like,
right.
Good. Like,
oh, the best part about that was, so like I mentioned before, this dude had an issue with buying the 2-drink minimum. Like, he would try to get out of doing it. He would try to fight it. And when the bartender, Dominic, heard that people were roasting him, he just ran into the showroom. And from what he told me, his drawers were about to fall down because he didn't adjust his pants. So he comes in pretty much like, I don't know, like pretty close from having his pants to having down to his ankles. And then he just yells out, buy your 2 drinks. And everyone just erupts in laughter. And he was salty as all hell.
Oh, man.
And he was such a goddamn sourpuss about it. And yeah, that was the last time he showed up. That's all we need to do.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah,
If
fuck
there
him.
was a handbook on what not to do,
Yeah.
just this story alone.
Yeah.
You don't do any of these, you would be A-okay.
I mean, really, he would have been okay if he just didn't say the N-word. But the other things, too, that didn't help either.
It's a collection of all that together.
Yeah.
Most definitely. All right, we'll switch gears here. So
Okay.
we're just past Christmas, coming into New Year's. How was your Christmas?
It was okay. I just drank.
Yeah. Do you have, like, your favorite Christmas? What was, like, your favorite Christmas ever?
My favorite Christmas ever?
Yeah.
The one where family didn't show up. I guess that was kind of this year. That was pretty much this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I don't know. Like, to tell you the truth, I don't really care about Christmas too much. Like, it's just a fucking holiday, man. And even so, it's just a holiday in December. You can't do shit because it's cold as hell outside, man.
And I thought it was always strange that parents would get you bikes living in Chicago.
Yeah, right.
Can't ride it. Been riding the house just down the hallway just so your parents can take pictures. And
They
say you
probably
did it.
got them the bikes because, hey, they're cheaper in the wintertime. It's like when they're selling cars. Oh, it's cheaper.
Right. No, so my favorite Christmas, and my big sister, like, just never lets me forget it.
Yeah.
I got Nintendo 64. It was like the Star Wars racing game came with it.
Oh, Pod Racer?
Yeah. And I got a bunch of Pokemon cards. And when I open up the Pokemon cards, all you can hear me throughout the house like, oh, I got Pokemon cards. And like every time it's Christmas, my big sister reminds me of that moment. And like growing up, I used to hate it. But then like as an adult looking back on it, I'm like, no, fuck that shit. That was my favorite fucking Christmas.
Yeah, right.
I got a Nintendo 64, fucking Star Wars pod racing, and fucking Pokemon card. That's a goddamn damn good Christmas if I can ever recall.
That's a
one.
really good Christmas. Nintendo 64 and Pokemon cards?
And Pokemon cards. What? That's my favorite Christmas. Are you a big New Year's Eve celebrator?
I will say I do prefer New Year's over Christmas. Just because, going to like the pretentious philosophical mindset here is I feel like New Year's is a little bit more important because it symbolizes the human evolution. No one's the same person each year. We all go through changes. We all grow in different ways. We all regress in certain ways. Me last year is a different person from me right now.
As it should be. I don't know how anybody could strive to be the same.
But really, it's also a good holiday to get shit-faced, too.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. Pretty much like any holiday. That's essentially what holidays are for. They're just like excuses for us to get shit-faced. I mean, Labor Day, for instance, that's like the laziest like holiday name ever. It's like,
no, I
Labor Day,
never
I don't
got
give a
it.
fuck.
I never got Labor Day. Labor meaning work, but no work. Like what?
Yeah, right.
We're going to celebrate work by not working.
Right, yeah.
No, so I got a New Year's like tradition. Me and my best friend is doing this coming up on 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
We pretty much get together and get shit faced. So
Nice.
he lives in Tinley now, so we've been going to his house for the past he been there 3-4 years or whatever. So that's the tradition.
It's a good tradition.
And we got so many stories. I'm gonna try to get my best friend on because our first New Year's is something of legends. If only between us two.
Okay, I see.
We were in the city, in a terrible part of the neighborhood. Well, in a terrible neighborhood, and that's coming from me. My best friend's white, and so he just stuck out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
And we went to the liquor store there because we needed liquor. It was New Year's without being drunk, and so we go there. I keep it short because I'm pretty sure he's going to want to tell his version too. We go there, and somehow or another, he thinks that the store is getting robbed. But
okay.
His version of the store is getting robbed. My version, no, it's not. So we walk to the liquor store. Like I said, we're in a terrible neighborhood. So we cross the street, a car pulls up, and people hop out to go to the liquor store. You can't park on the main street, so the driver just kind of sit there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he swear up and down that the person got out and had a gun. That's what he saw. What I saw was the person get out the car and adjust their hoodie. That's what you do, right? You got in the car, the hoodie slid up, so you get out, you pull it back down. So he's like, yo, he got a gun. I'm like, He don't. What are you talking about? He's like, no, they're going to rob the place. No, the fucking night. They're going to rob the place. But we get inside the liquor store. It's owned by people from the Middle East. I don't know exactly where they're from. I don't want to just call them Arabs. But owned from people from the Middle East. And just so happened, again, he's the only white person there. And the owner of the store is fucking with him. So we walking through the store. We're in one aisle, the owner's in the other aisle. He's just like, hey, Snowflake. Yo, Casper. It's just like fucking with him. And it's so funny because my best friend, he's freaking out. He didn't hear none of that until he called him Casper. So he's freaking out because he's planning an escape route because they're going to rob the place. Like, so when the owner goes, hey, Casper, he perks up. He go, what? And so the owner's laughing. Everybody's laughing. I'm like, dude, calm down. I'm like, dude, what are we getting? We're at the little cooler getting beer. What are we getting? Yeah, huh? What are we buying? He's like, oh, just grab some Bud Light. So we grab like 2 cases of Bud Light. I'm like, yo, you good? He's like, no, I'm just planning, yo. Shit go down. We got to get out of here. I'm like, calm down, bro. Nothing's going to happen. So we pay for the stuff. He's underage at the time. I think I'm just barely 21. And so we're walking back. He has a case. I got a case. And we're walking underneath the viaduct. And the viaduct have the real thick pillars. Right. And so he's like, dude, what if the cops come? So I'm joking. I turn around real quick. Can't see nothing because we underneath the viaduct. I'm like, there go the cops. Here come the fucking cops. They pull past us, and he figured out. He's like, oh, shit. I'm like, yo, give me the case. You know what I'm saying? I'm of age. The cops stop, bag up, and roll the window down. So I just stop. I shrug my shoulders, show the cases of beer. They roll the window up and pull off. I'm pretty sure they was like, fuck this white person doing out here. So they pull off. We go back and we have a good ass time. And the most funny part about the whole story is we was at my friend Marcus' house. We lost Marcus.
You lost him.
On some straight hangover type shit. We lost Marcus. Marcus got drunk amongst some other things, so he cross-faded. He went outside. Kamehameha, my girlfriend at the time, no, the girl I was trying to talk to at the time, it ran off into the night.
Just fucking ran off, huh?
His wife will find Marcus. I'm like, I don't know where he went. And so this is like midnight, the pinnacle of the whole fucking night.
Yeah.
I'm outside walking in circles looking for Marcus. Sound like I'm looking for a lost puppy. Marcus!
Where are you, boy?
Yo! So this is, like I said, this is right after midnight. Let's say 12:30.
Yeah.
It's now 3 a.m. I'm ready to go. The night is blown. Here come fucking Marcus. His shirt's ripped. His knuckles are bleeding.
What the fuck?
Marcus got into a fight with a building.
Wait.
A brick and mortar building. He got into a fight. Let him tell it. He won. But he went back to his old neighborhood or whatever, fought the building, and came back calm.
The fuck did the building do to him?
He comes back calm, and I'm like, here's Marcus. I'm leaving. And I left. Like, it was a crazy night. And that's just a quick synopsis. If I ever get my best friend to come on the show, I'll go way into it. But, you know, that was our first New Year's kicking it.
Yeah.
Number one to kick it off, and we have not missed a New Year since. And so this New Year's, that's the plan.
It's a hell of a New Year's story. I could kind of relate to what Marcus did, because there was definitely a time where I got so fucked up where I kind of roamed away from the pack, so to speak. And they, fuck, I might as well tell this story. So this was about like a few years ago. This was a Blackout Wednesday, Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and meeting up with a couple of my friends. I brought over some Grey Goose.
You ever heard of Blackout Wednesday? Okay,
really?
It's a Caucasian thing. Okay.
Yeah, I guess it is a Caucasian thing. I don't know. But yeah, Wednesday before Thanksgiving. We'll just go with that.
Yeah, no. If it got a name, I was just verifying because I'm like, I never heard of it. I mean, ask Curtis.
Yeah, it's kind of a tradition to get incredibly
okay.
drunk. So, get some Grey Goose, pregame to that pretty hard, went to a bar. And then the rest was just kind of a haze, because before I knew it, I was walking over to my buddy's house. It's like, what the fuck? whatever. I'll just walk over to my car. Just get going. It was cold. Get to my car, look at my phone. They're trying to get home. It's like, hey, you know what? I'll call them later and all that. So next day, wake up, and I hit them up, say, hey, sorry about that, guys. It got pretty fucked up. Roamed around a little bit. I'm all good. How you guys been? What happened? It's like, oh, yeah, we got jumped looking for you. Yeah, so apparently what happened was one of my boys, Steve, he was trying to look for me, and then in some way or another kind of mouthed off to this one chick, and of course, like, these dudes who were trying to get her, for, I'm presuming anyway, all jumped them.
Oh, gosh.
Jumped both my friends.
Oh, gosh. And you just out frolicking.
And I don't want to, like, make it seem like that I got off scot-free. I felt real bad about this.
Yeah,
I felt like I should have, like,
at least been there.
Should have been there, yeah.
Right. That's the.
I would have been any help in that state too. I probably would have. Probably would just try to slink away, try to watch back. Oh God, this is awful.
Why are you fighting them guys? It'll be okay.
Yeah, right. Get moral support.
So, with Christmas comes like all the lights and decorations.
Yeah.
How long do you think people should keep them up?
So, in my perfect world, I would say, like, don't even bother with Christmas decorations. Like, why bother? You're going to take it down anyway. Why put the effort to put them on your goddamn gutters? But, all right, so a week after Christmas the most. I feel like that's appropriate.
So right after New Year's, you should start taking it down.
Yeah, because, of course, there's some people that'll say, oh, no, the week after Christmas is still Christmas time. You know, that kind of bullshit. It's like, how come people don't say about Labor Day? It's like, oh no, Tuesday for Saturday is still Labor Day week.
Oh no, I never thought about it that deep. What you think, Curtis? How long should people keep up their Christmas decorations?
I feel like once it hit New Year's.
Once it hit New Year's? So you say by the eve? I mean, I think it's still nice to see them, like, on like New Year's night, go out, they still have the lights and stuff up. I mean, it's the holiday, like, season, right? I mean, I get it with the whole thing. But, you know, people will put it up right after Halloween. Like, as they remove Halloween decorations, they put on Christmas decorations. So it's like, you got the whole month, 2 months.
I guess if they went, like,
all out.
Balls deep.
Yeah.
Put all this shit up. Yeah, because you ain't ready to take it down so quickly. You want to show off what you did.
It used to be a house by my old house, and these people had interchangeable decorations. So pretty much picture a snowman mixed with Mr. Potato Head. They was able to pick the pieces apart. So for Easter, it was a bunny. You know what I'm saying? Every Valentine's Day was a Cupid. They just one thing. They just kept redecorating. I'm like, that's ingenious. Like, you never had to really pull it up, take the face off, put the new one on. Like, I mean, the Easter Bunny looks like a snowman, but
for St. Patty's Day, they just got Liam Neeson. That's good enough.
So, what's like your favorite holiday to celebrate?
I like Halloween.
Halloween, you're a Halloween person?
I do like Halloween, man.
Did you dress? Do you still dress up and stuff? To a certain extent?
I didn't dress up this year. I just wore what I'm wearing right now. Basically, my basic comedy attire, which is just bandana, black leather gloves, and a black denim jacket.
I just figured you wear this all the time.
Kind of.
Catching grocery shopping.
No, every now and then I do have people who run into me. It's like, how'd you guess me for the face? Like, oh, the bandana, of course. And the fact that my face mask matches with the bandana too. Right. That gives it away too. So you gotta represent your brand. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, you gotta represent your brand so that way people know to ignore you.
Are you like a big Valentine's person?
No, I'm not like huge into Valentine's Day. It's like, you can get laid any day. It doesn't have to be Valentine's Day.
Are you seen as lesser if you can't get laid on Valentine's Day?
What's that again?
Are you seen as lesser?
Maybe. I haven't really thinking of it like that. maybe I just choose not to think of it like that. Valentine's Day, I'll say this. Valentine's Day is definitely a good day if you want to just cry by yourself. I mean, there's advantages to that. It's appropriate for that. I mean, you ever try crying yourself to sleep on Christmas? It's sad, because there's Christmas music, there's lights, and from your window you can see an inflatable Frosty Snowman.
You trying to cry to Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas?
No,
you're lying, Mariah. You don't want me.
No. I don't cry to Mariah Carey. I cry to that fucking Paul McCartney song. The one goes, simply having a wonderful Christmas time, like 17 goddamn times over 5 minutes. That's what you cry to. Because if you want depression, if you want to feel like the lowest of lows, you put on that shit.
That's hilarious. You got anything you specifically want to talk about?
I mean, we could talk about politics, but I'll just let you know I don't know shit about Syria. I don't know why. When it comes to foreign affairs, like it always goes back to Syria in some way or another. Like America is kind of like the ex-girlfriend. Syria is like the guy and all that, and America's like the one who claims that they moved on and all that, but she keeps like rearing her ugly head to keep sabotaging Syria's relationships and all that.
So, have you heard like Americans? We're pretty much, our mindset is pretty much stuck in America. We have like no real knowledge of the rest of the world.
We really don't,
and that's like a true American thing.
It is.
Like it's like baffling though. You know what I'm saying? Because like all the time you can see on the internet of people from overseas guessing the states, and it's hilarious, right? Because they can get some right, but what I notice is that they be having some of the names down packed. But I probably couldn't like point out Poland real quick on a map, let alone try to name a city in Poland or Switzerland. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm like, we some cocky motherfuckers as Americans.
We are entitled. I think that's a way to put it. It's like, and the thing is too is like a lot of us act like that we don't have it so good and all that. And what drives me crazy is like when people like have bumper stickers that says, "Wake up and smell the tyranny." He's like, bro, if you were living in a tyrannical government, you'd fucking get decapitated for having that bumper sticker.
For real, just for having the sticker. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know. Like, I want to broaden my horizon when it comes to that stuff. But I'm not going to lie, it's just easier not to.
It's easier not to. And also, too, it's like, it's just brings a better peace of mind to be aloof from that kind of stuff.
Right,
you get what I mean?
The ignorance is bliss type thing.
Some of that stuff is like fucking crazy. It's just too much. You can't do anything about it. People are just going to do some wild ass shit, and you just got to let it be.
Have you been out the country?
I have not been out the country. I mean, I've been to Indiana. I don't know if that counts.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Will you plan on visiting outside the country?
I definitely would like to and all that.
Like, where would you go?
Probably Europe, maybe like Scandinavia, Norway, Sweden.
Scandinavia? Where's that? Where's that close by?
Well, it's in Europe. It's by an ocean, I think.
What's there? Like, is that like a touristy place, or is that like some lineage there? Is that why you want to go?
Well, I'm a metalhead, and a lot of my favorite metal bands come from the Scandinavian area, so I like to go check that out. Also, they do have like some touristy attractions for that type of scene too.
Oh, like for metalheads, yeah.
Yeah, they basically like showcase all the churches that got burned down in Norway by some of those metal musicians. So I think that'd be pretty cool. Hopping that tour bus, check that out.
Oh, something completely random. Did you hear about the explosion that happened on Christmas in Nashville?
I did hear about that too.
What did you hear about it, Curtis? Like, so I heard about it like on Christmas, but it wasn't like much information out.
Yeah.
Have you seen like there's like a little security clip before it exploded?
I haven't seen the clips of the event prior to the explosion or the explosion itself, but I have like heard like a few reports on it.
So I watched one of the clips, and before this RV exploded, it had like an alarm going off.
Yeah,
if you're in the area,
announcing people.
Yeah, to get away from it. And I guess as a wannabe comic, my mind usually just goes right to a funny place. And all I can think of is I hope there was no white people in the area, because instead of walking away, y'all probably would have investigated it. Like, why is it telling me to go away?
All right. So, real quick, I just got this idea in my head. So if that van really wanted people to evacuate, they just need to change the message. They just need to say, hi, just letting you guys know that there's a comedy open mic about to start. And you have motherfuckers leaving out in droves like they're Syrian refugees.
But one of the odd things I found about it, though, is that I guess still official reports is they're not sure if it was intentional. Like, what? What part of this whole entire thing does not seem intentional? This was an accidental bomb? Like, is this still something on the table that can be an answer to this?
So I think they updated the reports on that.
You have to speak up because people keep saying they can't hear you when you talk.
I just actually don't know.
Okay.
Apparently, the dude that did it, I guess he blew up with the truck.
Oh, he was in there?
Yeah.
Fuck
That's
that.
what the report said.
Maybe he couldn't get the door open.
It's like, oh, hey, could you imagine panicking like that? You sit, you probably, because like this is not something you just do overnight. You know what I'm saying? You planned it, but all right, I'm gonna park you right here. That building's gonna blow up. That one's gonna blow up. It's gonna be amazing, and I'm gonna be walking around, be the Unabomber. Nobody's gonna know it's me. And you gonna be like, all right, it's time. Boop. Countdown start. The announcement starts. Fuck, where are the keys? Oh, fuck, it's jammed. I knew this was gonna jam.
Oh, fuck, that's right. I came in through the passenger side door.
And there's like 2 seconds left, and he's trying to crawl over the seat.
Right.
It's fucked up. I'm sorry. Don't. But then he blows up. It's like.
Yeah, I know that happened in Nashville, and also like several days ago there was a dump truck that crashed into Zanies in Nashville too.
No shit.
Yeah, like I had a friend of mine who actually works in the Rosemont Zanies. Shout out to Tom Feedback. He was over there helping a friend move, and he went to see a show there. Then 3 days later, a fucking dump truck just crashes into the building.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So Nashville crazy right now.
Yeah. What the fuck? What's in Nashville? People want to blow it up though. Was it like a bad barbecue spot? Like, say fuck a bad review on Yelp.
Maybe some people just aren't a fan of Kenny Chesney. I don't know. There's a lot of country in Nashville, man.
Oh fuck. Shit. What else, Curtis? What else we got? Oh, we finna go just total improv here, huh?
I thought that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, no, to a certain extent. I don't know. I mean, I'm just glad you came out. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who's been in the comedy game. Actual I struggle with, at what point do I call myself a comedian? You know what I'm saying?
Shit, I've been doing this for 5 years, and I feel hesitant to call myself a comedian.
Yeah, like seriously?
For real. Like, to me, it's like, in order to call yourself a comedian, you gotta be either working on the reg, getting booked regularly, or you gotta have like a special, like some notoriety to you.
Right.
And I feel like that gives you the status of comedian. I mean, you could say you're a comedian if you don't have any of that, but I don't know. For me, I would feel more comfortable if I fit one of those two categories.
So what do you consider yourself?
I just consider myself a comic.
Yeah. What's the difference between a comic and a comedian?
I mean, really nothing. It's just like certain connotations to each term.
Yeah, that comes with it.
Yeah, like comic, it just basically implies that you're still working it out. You're still trying to find your way. Well, comedian means that you found a way. Now you have a job. This is something that you do. You're a professional.
Yeah.
That's how I associate comedian.
Right. I mean, I could see it. Who are some of the people you looked up to as far as comedy?
Well, I mentioned that I did like Louis C.K. He was like one of the guys that did really get me interested in doing comedy. Mm-hmm. George Carlin definitely is up there too. Love George Carlin. But the thing is, like, over time, like, a lot of my tastes tend to change a little bit. Like, guys like Anthony Jeselnik.
I love Anthony Jeselnik.
What was that?
I love Anthony Jeselnik.
Oh, Jeselnik is great.
Fucking hilarious.
One of the best writers out there. Like, yeah, it's dark and all that, but it's so incredibly well written.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's hilarious.
Guys like Chris Rock, of course, Chappelle. Although I prefer older Chappelle over new Chappelle. That's just me, though.
You think Chappelle like too woke now? Is that what it is?
I don't know if it's woke or it's just like too preachy. It's like I liked Chappelle when he was talking about goofy shit like a homeless guy jacking off on the bus. Like, that shit was funny. No, don't get me wrong. I like the newer Chappelle stuff. Some of it's pretty good, but, I don't know. I was a fan more of the older stuff.
Yeah. So one thing I always see when people interview comics and stuff, they always ask who would be their comedy Mount Rushmore. Who would you put in your all-time top 4?
Ooh, right off the bat, you gotta have Richard Pryor and George Carlin.
Have to. Those are like permanent spots.
Those two are just you gotta have those on there. And do you want to go with classic or do you want to
It's yours. However you want to go with it.
Oof. That's a hard one to put me on the spot. Man. All right. Okay. Carlin, Pryor. I would put Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. Why do you think people are hesitant to always put Eddie up there?
I think Eddie really was a lot more influential to comedy than people give him credit for. Because I think what Eddie did was he brought about this youthful, brash, unfiltered energy to comedy that hadn't really been seen like that before.
You know what I hear a lot of people say? They always say he was like a mini Richard Pryor. Right?
Yeah, in a certain way, yeah.
So in my head, immediately what I think is Jordan and Kobe. Mm-hmm. Right? Two totally different all-stars, but then they always go, Jordan is better than Kobe. Kobe was just another version of Jordan.
Right.
Would you consider that a fair rendition of the whole Pryor Murphy?
I would say so, yeah. And I guess to fill out the fourth one, I'd probably just put Lenny Bruce. I'm not the biggest fan of Lenny Bruce. I respect him, definitely, what he achieved and definitely what he gave up to stand for what he believed in.
Right.
And for his art. But I just didn't think he was all that funny. And honestly, I felt like that Carlin and Pryor both took Lenny Bruce's influence and then just took something, made some of their own to influence a whole new crop of comedians. So, yeah, Lenny Bruce was definitely instrumental, but I also think that Carlin and Pryor were even more instrumental. Those were the two guys I feel like influenced comedy the most.
Yeah, most definitely. You'll have a New Year's resolution?
No.
No?
That's a hard question to ask them. My Mount Rushmore comedy. I don't know. Maybe find more people. Maybe have more time to think of a proper Mount Rushmore comedy. That's my New Year's resolution.
All right,
I got put on the spot here, Will.
So when we have you back here, I expect a more definite answer. How about that?
Okay, it's a deal.
I don't know. I'm not a big New Year's resolution type person.
Right.
Because what they say 90% of the people who make a New Year's resolution don't do it. I'm like,
right.
How about you just set goals for yourself that you've been doing throughout the whole entire year?
If you really wanted to do something, why are you going to wait for the new year?
Right.
Just do it now.
I feel like if you wanted to start something and you'd be like, wait till New Year, that's fine. If it was something brand new you're finna start, you can put it off one more week.
Yeah, and that's like most people too, because we tend to put things off to the side, put on the back burner too, because that's a lot of people. We want to do a lot of things, but we rarely ever achieve most of them. So with New Year's resolution, people are like, oh, hey, this is this big event. This is perfect. It gets me motivated to do something new. Well, really, you could have been doing that several weeks ago.
Right. No, 100%. Do you have a dream venue?
Dream venue. Oof. You mean performing?
Yeah. What place would you love to see Kyle Allen sold out?
Maybe Radio City Music Hall or Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
Carnegie Hall. And that could be great to perform at Carnegie Hall. But not a weekend, just a one-nighter. And I want it in between, a piano player playing some Bach etudes. And then, the day after that, I don't know, Rent or something like that. Just had me completely stick out like a sore thumb. I don't want the whole week. I just want to be the anomaly in the confusion in the Carnegie calendar.
So you got a Bach rendition, Kyle Allen, Rent.
Yep. I don't know if Rent is still around anymore, but
they got to come out for that, huh? Just to break up the monotony.
Yeah, they're not scheduling a whole month. They're just doing it all for that one day. So they're going to go all out for that one.
That's hilarious. I don't know. It'd be funny because like a lot of time I ask people questions that like I have never thought about because I don't have like a dream venue. Because I know a lot of people that you got to go to the Comedy Store. What do you think about the Comedy Store?
I definitely would love to go to the Comedy Store and all that, but I feel like I need a little bit more years in the game in order to go there. It's like,
what, you don't feel like you're ready?
I mean, yeah, I guess you could say I'm ready and all that, but I want to be humble. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck that shit. Like, if somebody came to you right now, like, "Hey, Kyle, I'll get you in the Comedy Store. We got a weekend. Dude dropped out."
I would say, fuck yeah, just let me grab my bandana.
My matching mask.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, I'll get at the 7-Eleven over there.
Right? No, I don't know. Because like, I only got like a few months. I wouldn't dare like tell somebody that I'm not even a comic. That's why I tell anybody, no, I don't want to be a comic. I'm working on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get there.
I did the same thing too. Like, I remember like I hid from my parents that I was doing comedy for about like a good 2 or 3 months or so.
Yeah.
I didn't tell any of them. And then when I told my mom, she's like, "Oh, so you get paid for it?" It's like, no,
that's not how that works yet.
It's like, when will you get paid? It's like, I don't know.
Hopefully, at some point, that's the closest estimate I can give you.
Trust me, this will pay off in about 10 years, give or take.
Well, I've been dead for 2.
Right? Yeah.
Because you only become more famous when you die.
Exactly. Which is something to aspire to.
So you got a taping coming up though, right?
Well, I'm opening up for a taping.
Yours won't be recorded, no?
Well, no, it's just so I'm opening up for my buddy Alan Ford. Alan and me go way back. We got started in comedy around the same time. We used to roll a lot for open mics and all that. We've been very close. So I'm opening up for him while he's recording his album. I think it's called Working for the Funny. I forget which.
I think so, yeah.
But hope Alan gets better. Just found out that he had COVID.
I was supposed to have Alan here.
So hopefully he gets better soon. Really want that $50. Really want that $50, man.
No, because I had originally talked to Alan because when I started doing comedy, obviously I was going to Riddles, and you and Alan was like one of the first people to, I guess, take to me, I guess. You know what I'm saying? To go, oh man, that was a good set. You know what I'm saying? Because the first 3-4 nights, I go do my set. And I always try to stay to the end. I want to be there for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will hope.
It's always a good tack to do that.
I will always hope that people want to stay for me, which no one does. Like, people get up there, do they say and fucking leave? I'm like, you rude asses. Like,
I mean, you kind of get used to it.
Oh, yeah, now most definitely, you kind of cut that real quick. I'm gonna get up there, do my set. You guys always stuck around. I'm like, oh, good set. And I was like, okay, I'm doing something, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Have you ever told somebody bad set?
No. And here's the reason why is because generally, for the most part, a lot of people who are doing comedy are kind of insecure as it is. So I prefer not to say unless they actually ask me what I really think about it.
Right.
If they want feedback, I'll give them feedback. However, I'm not going to go up to dudes like, hey, man, you fucking ate it, man.
Yeah. Have you ever heard somebody set up a joke and you go, yeah, don't do that?
Well, yeah, Alexander the Decent. We already talked about that.
Well, other than that, someone I guess you're cool with and could be, I guess, able to give honest feedback.
Oof. There probably is. I just can't think of it right off the top of my head.
I wasn't asking.
Has that happened to you?
No, and I feel like y'all fake. Like, no one has ever told me yeah, no, you shouldn't do that, or I know you will, but I'm like all the other comics and stuff. No one has ever been like, yeah, that was cool, but maybe try it this way, or no one said that yet. And I'm like, no, all y'all fake. Until somebody give me some bad feedback or some real constructive criticism, I'm like, y'all fake. All y'all fake as hell. All y'all here for the little laughs. I don't know if y'all laughing with me or at me. Fuck y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because especially when you're going up to and when you're fresh in the game, you don't know if people are actually being honest and real with you.
Right now, because I feel like everybody wants to encourage everyone to do their best.
And then, like, you get that one set where it's like, hey, that was actually good. What about the other sets you said good job on?
Right. No, I'm all down. Just give it to me raw. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it was bad, I could work on it. Say something.
I remember, like, one of the worst compliments I ever got was when I was, like, new and one of the comics said, you look really comfortable on stage. Which basically meant that you were awful. You looked comfortable on stage because you were bombing. Everyone else didn't look comfortable while you were on stage, but you looked comfortable at the very least.
One of my worst open mics so far. Again, I'm fairly new. I can probably count on both our hands how many times I've done a mic. I was at the comedy gym at Diversity Bowl.
Okay.
What's her name? Mona. She was there, and I forget because every time she have a different host.
Was it a riff mic?
Yeah, she loves to do the riff stuff, but you can still go do your regular set. She try to encourage for you to riff. For people who don't know what riffing is, it's pretty much just off the top of your head, right?
Yeah, it's what we're doing right now.
Yeah. So I was there. There was some other people there. You know who Mo Good is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was there, and the host I forget his name. And it was a guy, another comic there. His name is Ginger.
Okay.
Who was a ginger.
Well, that's very fitting. I
Yeah,
guess.
right,
Yeah.
right. So the guy kept referencing, the host kept like referencing his joke back to Ginger. That's kind of what people do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so Mo Good had made, I want to say like the assumption that he was gay for Ginger. That was the running joke, right? So I get up there and I was riffing and I was teaching people how to roast basically. And I'm like, all you got to do is add ass to any type of insult. Now it's funny. You know what I'm saying? You could be like, hey, you got a big ass head. And they'd be like, damn, why you say that to him? I'm like, yo, big head ass. And people like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like, that's all you got to do. And so I went around the room, just kind of, had people going. People was laughing. And then I went to the host and because I had said something about Ginger. I'm like, ooh, let me stop. I don't want you to get mad at me. I'm not trying to hit on him like you. And she stops me in the middle of my set and goes, that's what we're not going to do. I'm like, wait, what? She was like, we're not going to gay bash. I'm like, gay bash? I didn't say anything bad about no one being gay. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If anything, I piggybacked off what Mo did. Mo did a whole 5-minute thing about him being gay. You know what I'm saying? I made one little joke and you just go cut me off. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, at that moment, I really felt like defeated because she completely stopped me to pretty much tell me, oh, no, we don't do that here. And I'm like,
yeah, that's going to completely take the wind off your sails.
But like somehow or another, like I said, I wanted to just sit down. Somehow or another, I ended up I was like, well, fuck it. And I just went into, I guess, my written material and people still laughed. People, like it killed. At least I felt like it did.
Yeah.
Because everybody after that was like, oh, no, man, good set. Good way to come back from that. Because a lot of people came like, really? Like, I just kind of dug deep and kept fucking going.
And honestly, that's a good thing to do. Is like that. Try not to act defeated and try to come out triumphantly. Continue with your set, not let it bother you or phase you. Yeah, that's definitely a good way to go about it. Now, I wasn't there, but if I were to take a guess, that was like because you were new there, they were expecting you to say a lot worse than what you were really going to say.
That was like my third time there, though.
Oh,
right.
I got nothing, man. I got nothing, bro.
It wasn't my first. It was my third time. I had already started because Shake the comedian was there.
Okay.
So like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say I don't know them, but we on some what's up type basis. I've seen you before. You know what I'm saying? And so like I was already mingling with other comics in the area. So like, I'm not brand spanking new. I've spoken to her. She seen me come in. Oh, Will's here. She put, I don't have to go. Oh, I'm Will Hill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, it was very strange and out of place, and like I kind of felt shitty because it's her room. So I'm like, damn, now I can't come back here.
Right.
But after it was all those said and done, I'm like, look, I'm sorry if I offended anyone. After everybody in the room said I didn't offend anyone, and it was like funny because the host at the beginning of the show was like, oh, if you can't take a joke, you're in the wrong spot. I'm like, but damn, she cut me off.
Yeah,
for me piggybacking off something somebody else said because I'm newer. That's how I felt. Anyway, that was so far was like one of my worst like mic nights. I was so pissed. Like I feel like you can't give me like a fair shake on it. You know what I'm saying?
You ever had anyone try to fight you after a set?
No, is that a common thing? What's up?
Well, no, I don't know if it's common, but it definitely happened to me.
Okay, let's hear that story. What happened?
All right. So this was about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, and I was gearing up for my very first feature spot. I was doing a feature spot over at the Rusty Fox in Sterling, which is about 2 hours away from here. That was a very fun drive.
The Rusty Fox.
That's not where this incident is. This was at an open mic in Kankakee. And there was no one at this open mic. It was just me and my friends. So I said, hey, can I just do 20 minutes so I can, get prepared for it? It's like, yeah, sure, go ahead. So then there was like this group of people, kind of drunk, kind of talkative, but they seemed like they were kind of attentive.
Right.
So I did my set. And then I did the joke about suicide. And then the drunk ass dude says, that's not funny, man. And then he tried to charge at me, and then the producer of the open mic had to get between us.
Oh, gosh.
And he brought him outside. I finished off my set. And Grand would be like, oh, well, that happened. Bye.
That's crazy. I mean, just like all of a sudden snap.
Yeah, well, so really what happened was apparently this dude had a buddy who committed suicide rather recently.
I understand that, but how
keep
can
in
you
mind,
know
though,
that?
it's like my joke at the time wasn't really making fun of people who commit suicide. It was just like the concept of it. It's like it wasn't really making fun of anyone particular.
Right.
But of course, he was drunk. He got triggered, and then like he wanted to start a fight with me. And I remember like there was this woman who was talking to me who was like friends with the guy. It's like, oh yeah, suicide, it's pretty rough. He had a friend who killed himself. I had a friend who killed himself, and then another guy's like, yeah, me too. And I was expecting like a daisy chain. It's like, yeah, hell yeah, me too, brother. It's like, damn, what's up with you guys at Kankakee and killing themselves?
I have made a suicide joke, but y'all have to go to the Patreon to watch it. I think I did it on the first Patreon that we did, Curtis. I'll tell you after. I don't want to repeat it again. You got to pay for it. It's only $1.
Right.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up. You want to tell the people who you are again, where they can find you?
My name is Kyle Allen. You can find me on MySpace.
MySpace is popping.
Dude, I don't know if
Wait,
MySpace
what year
is
is it
still
again?
around.
Oh, no, it's not.
If you can't find me on MySpace, maybe you can find me on Vampire Freaks.
What's that?
Vampire Freaks was the goth MySpace like back in the day, man.
What?
I never had one, but man, I knew guys who had one of those. It was
Vampire
basically
Freak?
MySpace still exists.
What?
MySpace
It's
still exists.
around.
Oh my god.
They tried to make a little comeback though, didn't they? I remember seeing MySpace commercials. They tried to like bring it back, but they didn't put a lot into it.
It's basically full of articles. It's a platform.
It's basically Yahoo
Reddit?
now. Who knows? Maybe MySpace and Quibi will launch a comeback.
My Quibi.
Yes, exactly.
No. Finish telling people.
Well,
where
yeah,
they
you can find me Instagram, Facebook under Kyle Allen Comedy. You can also catch me around the comedy scene every now and then. I do run an open mic in Bolingbrook whenever that happens on Thursday, CG's Comedy Club. And also I'll be opening for my buddy Alan Ford for his album recording in January. So aside from that, just going to be doing a whole lot of drinking.
You want to plug in? What day is that?
January 8th, it's in Valparaiso, the Market Lounge.
Yeah, make sure y'all go support Alan Ford, support Kyle Allen, the Market Lounge in Valpo.
Bring your face masks. Don't
have
fuck
to.
up Indiana, too. It's bad enough here as it is.
All right, make sure y'all follow Third Post Media. That's Post like your heartbeat, not Post plus. I don't know how many more times I can say this. Make sure y'all follow me on all platforms. Simply Just Will. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Patreon. It's $1. You get all the exclusive stuff. Me and Curtis go sit down. We do a Patreon talk after each and every podcast. And that's where you can hear my suicide joke. So
Right. And make sure to donate to their Patreon because they still got to pay me.
exactly. We'll talk about that off. Hey, you got security, right? Yeah. All right, y'all. We out.
All right. Take it.